So my manager was asking, "Will you build the UI?" I said, "Okay, yes, yes, I'll build the UI." "Will you be able to build the backend?" "Yes, yes, I'll build the backend." "Will you be able to connect it to the DB?" "Yes, yes, be able to connect it to the DB." So yeah, I overcommitted. I fell short of my commitment.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Victory Point. My name is Pranjal Jain. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Krutam from Microsoft. Let's see how he got there, what got him excited about technology, and everything else that he goes through throughout a typical day. So, hi Krutam, how are you? And let's hear it from.
Yeah. Hey, hi Pranjal. I'm very glad to be here at Victory Point sharing my journey. So, as Pranjal said, my name is Krutam and I have been working as a software engineer at Microsoft since 2021. I graduated from my college in 2021, and along with software engineering, finance finance is my passion. So, I have been reading quite a lot about finance since my college days. So yeah, this was about me, Pranjal.
Okay. So let's start it right from the beginning, right from your initial years in school. Let's talk about 11th, 12th, how you got into Triple IT Hyderabad. That is a great institute. Let's start from there. Let's start a journey from there, and then we'll analyze how a student should actually start his or her journey and get into Microsoft. So how was 12th and like 11th and 12th for you?
Okay, so like every other JEE aspirant, I enrolled to some JEE classes. So Bothra classes, they are famous here in Ahmedabad. So yeah, I enrolled Bothra classes to crack my JEE, and I am a perfect example of shoot for the aim for the sky, and you will eventually end up at the stars. So yeah, so obviously, going to IIT was one of my goals, but yeah, I didn't do as good as I was expecting my JEE exams to go. So yeah, that's how I end up at IIIT Hyderabad. Yeah, but it was a blessings in disguise for me because I don't think I would have been able to capitalize IIT as much as I was able to capitalize the downfall.
All right. So that was your journey from 11th, 12th to getting into your B.Tech degree at Triple IT. So let
Yeah.
us know a little bit more about your journey in Triple IT, how it went. Like right from the first year, tell us about the first year, second year, what course did you enroll in, what all did you?
Okay. Yeah. So for first of all, I was in an integrated program in IIIT. So my course was BTech plus MS. So it was a 5-year course. So from the first year itself, IIIT is a very competitive institute. I mean, students there are very competitive, and from the first year itself, you get a sense of clearing ICPC. You get a pulse of how to clear companies like Google, Microsoft, and how to clear. Have you heard of GSOC, Google Summer of Code? Yeah, exactly. You must have. You are also from an IIT. So yeah, from the first year it all went, but my first year was pretty chilled out. I didn't do much. And the most ironical part was I scored my highest CGPA in my first semester, and that was an 8 pointer. Ever since my first semester, my CGPA has been were in a downfall, and I ended up with a CGPA of around 6.8, 6.9 after my eighth sem. Yeah, that was pretty much about my first year. And in my second year and third year, I prepared for Google Summer of Code, but both the times I was rejected. And I mean that rejection taught me a lot. And after that, I secured an internship at Microsoft. And after that internship, I got a BPO from Microsoft. And ever since I'm working for Microsoft.
Let's talk a little bit about a little bit more about the college days. So was there always a coding culture in the college? You also talked about GSOC. Were a lot of students participating in that? Were you getting guidance from your seniors? How did you get this idea to participate in GSOC? That too, not just once, but you said you participated twice. And how about competitive coding? Was there always a culture in the college, or was it something that you had to explore on your own?
Okay, so let me talk about the culture in general, and then I'll talk about GSOC and competitive coding individually.
Oh,
So yeah, the culture at the computer science and the software engineering culture at IIIT is very great. So from the first year itself, IIIT during my days at college, we didn't have fancy clubs like book reading club or acting club or music club. But we surely had clubs like coding clubs. We had clubs like open source clubs, web development clubs, and those clubs were seriously on a roll as compared to other clubs. Yeah, so the culture at IIIT was pretty competitive, and I mean these things, software engineering things, were very promoted, highly promoted at IIIT. Now talking individually, by the way, just a stat that during my 4 5 years of college, IIIT was the highest. I mean, IIIT Hyderabad was a college where the maximum number of students went for GSOC.
oh,
Not maximum, I mean the highest selection of students were from IIIT Hyderabad in GSOC. So yeah, open source was highly encouraged. And it was during my college days that I learned that open source can take you places that probably Mang or Fang cannot. So yeah, that is how I ended up contributing. I mean, I ended up applying for GSOC twice.
So now after your college, like you went for an internship at Microsoft. During which year did you go? Like in the fifth year or in the fourth year?
My intern was in my during my fourth year,
Fourth year.
but the
So
pre-final year. Yes.
tell us something about internship at Microsoft. How did you feel? How did you apply? First of all, how did you get in? And what did you learn while you were there?
Okay. So the internship that I got was on campus. Microsoft came on campus to hire for interns. And talking about the interview process, so Microsoft took one online assessment round
Okay.
where they asked two or three, I don't remember exactly, but two or three DSA questions,
Okay.
and based on which students were shortlisted for interviews.
All right.
And during the interviews, they had uh, four technical interviews round, and all four interview, I mean, all the four rounds were DSA based, and none of them were system design interviews.
Okay.
So yeah, after four rounds of interview process, I went into Microsoft as an intern. And if I talk about my intern experience at Microsoft, it was a roller coaster experience. So I mean, so during our time, it was COVID, and not many companies were going to come for placements.
Right.
So it was kind of a do or die situation. So get a PPO or sit in placements, and sitting in placements was a nightmare during that time because not many companies were going to come. So yeah, I remember I committed a lot of things to my manager that I'll do this, and that was a typical intern mentality that I still see interns doing that. So my manager was asking, "Will you build the UI?" I said, "Okay, yes, I'll build the UI." "Will you be able to build the backend?" Yes, I'll build the backend." "Will you be able to connect it to the DB?" Yes, I will be able to connect it to the DB. So yeah, I overcommitted. I fell short of my commitment, but yeah, with God's grace, I still managed to get the PPO.
All right. So you must have applied for other companies as well, where you might have gotten selected or rejected. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Your entire internship process. Where all did you apply? Where all did you get selected? Why did you choose Microsoft exactly? How did that happen?
Okay, yeah. So I'll be transparent here. So I applied for Google. I mean, due to low CGPA, I was not eligible to sit for internships at Google. So I didn't sit on campus. I applied off campus, and I wasn't even selected for the interviews. I
Okay.
applied for Bloomberg London
Mhm.
and also JP Morgan London.
Okay.
I had an offer for internships from Bloomberg London, and my interviews were in, sorry, I had an offer from JP Morgan London, and my interviews were in pipeline for Bloomberg London.
Okay.
But as soon as I got an offer from Microsoft, my dad refused. I mean, my dad was a bit reluctant, not a bit. I mean, he was very reluctant for me to sit for Bloomberg or JP Morgan because he felt that none of them were as technical companies as Microsoft was. I was very upset with his decisions. But again, blessings in disguise. A couple of weeks later, JP Morgan mailed me saying that due to COVID, all the abroad internship offer letters are rescinded.
All right.
Yeah,
So it turned out to be a great decision to actually stick to Microsoft at the time.
exactly. Yes, yes. I mean, after that, I am a firm believer of what happens, happens for good.
All right. Great. So this is a great thing to take away for the user.
Yeah,
Focus on what you are doing. If something bad happens, don't focus on that. Keep working hard. And even if
exactly.
something bad has happened and you are putting in their effort, then you'll get somewhere good.
Exactly.
Krutam is a very good example of the same. All right. So after your internship, you got a PPO, you went for the job. So how is your experience in Microsoft as a SD1? What are you currently working on? What projects excite you? And how is your typical day at Microsoft?
Yeah, so it's been 2 years and some 3, 4 months at Microsoft, and I have worked on three projects till now. So Microsoft and I, for that matter, I believe all the MAN companies, they are impact driven. So all the projects that you do for those companies are impactful. And so there was this product that I built. There was this app on Teams that I built. The goal of that app was to bring IT support to users' palm.
Okay.
So yeah, we built the whole backend I mean, the whole backend as well as the front end for that app. But I was mainly involved in building the backend. So yeah, that was the time I got an exposure on to building scalable systems.
All right.
And currently we are working on something known as an anomaly detection in Teams.
Okay.
So Pranjal, we are on a call, right?
Yeah.
Let's say my audio is not very clear.
Okay.
So what we are working for Teams is the Teams will automatically send a notification to the user saying that the audio reception for your audio device is not very good. Either change the device or some other remediation step. Let's say restart Teams or close some apps if it's a RAM issue.
All right.
So yeah, we are building an ML model to detect anomaly in a call.
Okay. Great. So I'd like to ask you for the viewers, what advice would you give them? Like if there is somebody who's, let's say, in 10th or 12th, or somebody who's doing a B.Tech like engineering in computer science and is in a tier 3 or tier 2 college. Okay, what advice would you give them? How to get into a top tech company like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, something of that sort? How to do that? How to level up?
Okay, so one thing that has helped me level up is increasing my curiosity level. So, I mean, I am curious to a level that I will open some random website and I'll start pondering that how is this built? So that has really helped me leveling up my software engineering game. Okay, and one advice that I will want to give it to college, not college, but yeah, pre-college students, that is school students, that if you are planning to get into software engineering, then maths is a must.
Definitely.
Like every numbers speaks for itself, and I mean everything, not everything, but yeah, mostly everything in computer science revolves around maths. So yeah, don't shy away from maths. Have your basics clear. Be curious. Keep learning. And yeah,
So Microsoft is a company that is famous for its work culture. What do you think about its work culture? How has it been? How has it treated you?
so yeah, it has treated me very well. So So Microsoft has, as you said, it has a very good employee-friendly work culture. So be it in terms of work-life balance or be it in terms of innovation. So we at Microsoft, people at Microsoft value hackathons a lot.
Okay.
So we have hackathons going on around the year, but there is one global hackathon that takes place mid September to end September. I mean somewhere around that time,
Okay.
and it's about a week long. And for that week, none of us work on our core project, and we all work on some hackathon project so
Okay.
as to increase our skill set and work on something that is not part of our portfolio, business portfolio.
Correct.
So yeah, and at Microsoft we have one Friday in a month. We have a Friday in a month as day of learning.
Okay.
So that Friday we don't work on our core portfolios and we explore whatever we want to explore. And we have sessions like KNESS, that is knowledge sharing and experience sharing sessions going on throughout the. I mean, it goes on throughout the year,
Okay.
be it on AI, be it on CI/CD, be it on product management, etc., etc. I mean, from hard skills to soft skills, Microsoft gives you liberty to focus on anything and everything.
Well, that's good to know. So, a quick note to our viewers: if you also want to work in such a company, listen to Krutam very carefully. He said that you have to be curious and you have to learn a lot of mathematics to get a good job in, right?
Yeah.
So, final words, Krutam, if you want to give an advice to yourself when you were in the first year of your B.Tech, what would that advice be?
Uh, just one advice to myself that I mean, I am a firm believer of you regret things you don't do.
Uh,
So please focus on stuff you want to focus on. I mean, again, one blessings in disguise for me during my college days was I didn't take much peer pressure. So I was in a group of friends where one of my friend is a triple IT, is a gold medalist
okay.
in my batch. I mean, I was surrounded by very smart and studious folks, but I didn't pay much attention to studies during my college days, and I honestly don't regret that because I have enjoyed my college life as hell. I have thousands of memories that I look backward to, and I feel nostalgic about every now and then. So yeah, the sole advice will be do what you feel like doing, and life will turn out as you want it to be.
All right. Thank you so much, Krutam. I would like to thank you on behalf of all the viewers. Thank you so much for taking out the time. It was very nice speaking to you, and we have got a lot of insight into how to get into a top tech company. So thanks a
Thanks,
lot,
thanks,
Krutam. Thank you so much.
thanks a lot, Pranjal. Thanks all.